Hello, I'm Hannah and welcome to my 6-part series of Find Your Flight, where I'll be teaching you the basics of aerial yoga and one of its greatest benefits, which is spinal release and decompression. Let's go ahead and jump into today's lesson. Today we shall be working on stability and coordination. Can we work with many body parts and the hammock at the same time and actually coordinate all of those things together? Today's practice is really about stability and coordination. So come around to the back edge of your fabric. Now, it might be actually quite useful for your fabric to be a little bit more kind of rolled. Tangled is not quite the right word, but a little more sort of together and rolled. Just try that your best. Don't worry too much about that. I just find that for myself it can be a little bit simpler once it's arranged this way. We're going to stand just a little bit behind plumb line, that center point between the two pillars of fabric, and take hold of the fabric around about shoulder height. You could go a little bit lower here. So we're going to bring our weight into one foot. Now, I've got my hammock at the high level height. You could have yours a fraction lower if you're finding this these drills and these practices particularly difficult to get into today. But if possible, keep your hammock at the high level height. So hands are roughly shoulder height. I've gone a little bit lower, quite a relaxed grip here. And then we just want to start swinging the fabric a little back and forth. And I've got my wrist action working here. So it's not my arms pulling it back and forth. I'm not getting my body into this. I'm trying to keep my body and my arms, my elbows pretty still. And most of the work is sort of in my hands and my wrists. And then bringing the weight into one foot. Don't worry which foot. I've chosen to bring my weight into my right foot today. And then we're going to see if we can kick up with momentum and timing. The left knee is going to draw up, and then we're going to see if we can catch our arch. This drill is called our arch trap drill. So as the fabric swings away, lift the foot and then see if you can stop it with the arch of your foot. You might not get it first time, but just see what you can do. I'm going to start again. Let's start again. I'm not enjoying this. Too many words. Today's main focus is about stability and coordination. We're going to start with a drill called arch trap, and we'll sort of see if we can develop on a little bit from there. So come round to the back edge of your fabric and start off by maybe just starting to sort of turn it in a little bit and roll it in on itself. So it becomes a little more rope-like at the base there. Don't worry too much about that. Just do what you can. And then take hold of the pillars in a relaxed way, roughly shoulder height. You could go a little bit lower. So we're going to just start off by seeing if we can sway that fabric back and forth. I've stood a little bit behind plumb line, that center point between the two pillars of fabric. So just a little behind. Notice as we're swaying back and forth here, it isn't the arms that are doing the work. It isn't the body that's doing the work. It's just the wrists and the fingertips, gently allowing that fabric to sway back and forth. And then bring your weight into one foot. I've gone for my right foot on the floor, and I'm going to see if I can stop the fabric with the arch of my left foot. Now we need a little momentum and timing here. As the fabric pushes away, lift the left leg and then stop the fabric with the arch of your foot. Nice job. And then we're going to just see if we can kick the fabric away and bring our foot to the earth. So you want to be aware of your stability on the foot that's on the floor here. So spread the weight out, cross the toes on that right foot, the one that's on the floor, and then kick the fabric away as you bring the foot to the earth. We're going to try that again. And then in fact, if you can, you'll see if you can do that over and over. So as the fabric pushes away from you, left leg rises, stop the fabric. You might want to look at it as you're doing it. Kick the fabric away, and then maybe you're up for doing that several times. I've got all the weight into the foot that's on the floor, and we're being quite delicate with the foot that's lifting and lowering. Eyes focused somewhere that doesn't move around a whole lot, and you're just seeing if you can get into a rhythm. And then we'll go ahead and bring that foot to the floor, give it a little wiggle out. Sometimes the standing leg becomes a little numb, and we'll swap it over to that second side. Now, no expectations. There's a good chance you're going to have some differences on both sides. All right, so take hold of the fabric, roughly shoulder height. I tend to go a little bit lower, and then back and forth with the fabric. This time, the other leg you haven't tried yet, so I'm going to keep my left foot grounded and then lift that right knee as the fabric pushes away, catch the right foot. So let's just pause, slow things down, especially on the first couple of rounds, see where you're at with your stability and that coordination, and then push the fabric away, and then we can do that again. Good idea to, oh, here we go. So that is why I wanted it to be bound up. So it's come a little ungathered, and I've managed to catch my foot inside. So if that happens to you, then just rebind it. And maybe you're going back and forth with that other foot you haven't worked yet, kicking the fabric away to bring the foot out. All right, this time keep the foot inside the fabric. So come and meet me, right foot inside of the fabric here. Hop yourself under plumb line. So grab the fabric high, little lift, hop, plant the foot. And then bring your hands back roughly to shoulder height. Firmly stand into your standing leg, the foot that's on the ground, and then go ahead and extend the arms and the leg forwards. Now, I'm not leaning the weight forwards. We want to keep our hips directly on top of that standing foot. Check out the level of your hip bones here. Could they be even with one another? Sometimes referred to as squared hips. And then we'll see if we can draw that heel back in. So do note that for some of us, having the fabric at this height is a little too high, and you could practice this with your hammock a little bit lower. I wouldn't go a whole lot lower, but just a little bit lower if it's needed. So back and forth. Some of us might also find that we can keep the hands pulled in as you extend the leg forwards. Don't worry if that's not available to you just yet, or ever in fact. But just playing around with what is available for you in your hamstrings here, in the groin area for your body in this moment. All right, next time you extend the leg forwards, go ahead and extend the arms, stabilize through the pelvis and the hips, and then press down firmly into the foot in the fabric, and press into the weight of your foot on the floor. And if you can, hands then pull to heart, check in with your hip stability. And I like to push out through the ball of that foot that's in the fabric. And if you feel like you've got the strength, start to widen that leg. So now we need to use our glutes, our thighs, the adductors there, the abductors. We're seeing if we can open up through that leg, a static hold for 2 more breaths. You've got this. Building strength, stability, and then slowly bring that leg back. Well done. Grab the fabric, pull the foot in, and then we want to kick the fabric away and to the ground. Little wiggle out. We're going to go for it on that second side. So this time it'll be catching left arch, little sway back and forth, catch the left foot, little hop to the center point. And let's take this slow. We want to try to be really stable, proactive with our movement, seeing if we can be in control. Notice the height of your hips. You want to keep them roughly the same height, the height of the buttocks and the sit bones. And then we'll start to go back and forth here. For now, not worrying about having to lift that heel any higher, so keep the arms lengthening and bending as you move the leg. If you feel like there is a little bit more room to give, you can start to pull those arms in closer towards you so that you'll notice your ankle, your heel, will have to go higher as you extend the leg. So strong arms if you're going for that second variation. I'm going to do one more kick forwards and then relax. Extend the arms and the leg forwards. If you feel like you've got stability, so try not to just hang out in the hips. We want those hip bones focused straight forwards. We want to have integrity in the hips there. Press down into the sole of the foot that's on the floor. Spread the toes out. Push out through the ball of your foot that's in the fabric. Hands to heart maybe, or arms wide for a little more stability. And then start to widen the leg. Now I'm not trying to lean off towards that side. We are using control here. So we're squeezing through the glutes. Inner thigh, outer thigh. Whatever arm shape is going to work for you here. Push out through the ball of the foot. Try to avoid leaning off towards the fabric. See if you can stay nice and tall and like a pillar of strength in that standing leg. And then bring hands and leg to heart. Bring the fabric in closer as you bend through the knee. One more time to kick away and then bring your feet to the ground. Well done. So a bit of stability in the pelvis and the hips, a bit of strength building there. Can't wait to see you next time as we're going to start to build on our core and also bring ourselves back into the fabric. See you there. If this practice resonates with you, check out the details that I'll add in the description box below. I am involved with virtual teacher trainings in collaboration with the wonderful Renee Stevens from Creative Body Flow, who created this world-class teacher training course for aerial yoga therapeutics. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like it below, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell icon. Not only will this keep you up to date with my offerings, but will keep content like To The Being free and accessible to all.